Okay, I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Hello, everybody. Welcome and happy Saturday. It's Angie, and I am so glad to have you here. So, little bit of a different setup today. I'm going to try again to do the whole show what I'm working on as well as show my face. Hopefully, I will get more done tonight, actually diamond painting, than what I did last week, because last week all I did was sit here and talk to the camera because I had you guys face to face, which doesn't happen very often. So I think I was just kind of taking advantage of that, and so I didn't do very much actual diamond painting. But I was so excited. I wanted to show you guys because especially Joe. I wanted to show Joe especially, and I'm not sure if Joe is here or not. I'll wait a few minutes and see if anybody filters in. And I always think of that movie. What was it? Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to call my assistant, Nate, because I'm missing something. Nate? Oh, jeepers. Yep, I'm missing something that I can't go on without. Nate? Shoot. I'm going to have to leave you guys for a brief second. You're going to think that this is ridiculous, but I don't think I can go for an hour and a half without my vape, which I know is highly terrible, but it is the facts of life. Anywho, last week I didn't get very far on this, and I wanted to show you that I actually have made quite a bit of progress. So I'm going to try to show it in this camera, and I've got it. So I've got from here down completed on, all the way over. And then I did something really silly, and not silly, but I decided to work from the side, which is what I normally do. But in working on it sideways, instead of just choosing a small section and doing it, I decided to spend it all and bite off the whole side. So I folded it in half and marked the center, so I would only have to reach, halfway across the canvas. And I decided to go from here all the way up to the entire top of the painting in one section. So I've been working on this whole big area here pretty much all week. I mean, I did, obviously, since last week, so probably last weekend I did this bottom section. By Sunday night, I think I had this bottom section completed. But during the week, I've been working on, on this side area. But I'm loving working on this. It's kind of weird because it's not like my normal, what I would go for. Again, it's called Spectrum Express because it's a lot of color blocking, and I mean a ton of black color blocking, which is fine, but a lot of color blocking, which normally I rather enjoy the confetti filled projects, but this was a nice change, and the colors are so fun. And let me just tell you, okay, this is a Dreamer Designs kit, and I was a little bit surprised by this. This painting, it has 60 colors. Of those 60 colors, 10 of them are ABs. It has 10 ABs, and it has 3 crystals, square crystals. Yay! I love crystals, so it's fun. I'm having a good time with it. And the ABs aren't really even bothering me that much, and let me tell you why. So I'm going to turn this sideways and get started now. So it might look a little bit funny to you guys sideways, but I got to have it that way to work. So as many of you know, if you've been with me for a while, I'm a creature of habit, and I only like the same things. Like, I do not like 3D printed trays. I like my tried and true, trusty dusty Star Ore plastic trays that I order off Amazon. I just love these trays. They're my favorites. I only use glue dots in my single placer, and I only use Not Your Mama's mud in my multi-placer. And that has been my rule for years. And I am a creature of habit. I don't like change. I like things to stay exactly the same for my whole of my life. In fact, I've had the same hairdo for 20 years, for heaven's sake. But I did try something. So in one of my swag bags from one of my retreats, I had received this putty from Nyx's Notions. And this one smells really good too. It's called Warmth of the Holidays by from Nyx's Notions. And it's a putty, and I've tried putties. I mean, it's not that I don't give other things a try. I've tried other things. I just don't like them. But for some reason, this particular putty, I'm in love with. I am really, really, really enjoying working with this putty. Strange, I know. So I think I might be a convert to this putty. And the thing that I've noticed, especially with this putty, is that it works so well on ABs. I've been having, just because there are so many ABs in this kit, it has been a godsend for working with ABs. So, okay, it's been, 5 minutes, and I've been sitting here talking about nothing. So let me tell everybody hello and see who's here. We've got Joe Atwood. Hi, Joe. Hello. First of all, she was the first one here. And in fact, Joe was here quite early because I got onto StreamYard so I could set up both cameras and just get everything adjusted. I signed on quite early, and Joe already had a comment on there. So she was ready to party. So hi, Joe. And then we got our other Joe. I got both my Joes. Michelle's here, and Jody. I just got off the phone with Jody. Jody and I were talking about my craft room overhaul, which we're going to talk about that tonight too. It's happening, everybody. It's finally happening. Tammy's here. Hi, Tammy. And Irene, my friend Irene is here. Long time no see. I'm so glad you were able to make it tonight. It's been so long since I've been around. Yep, Diamond Heart. Yes, no judgment zone. That's right. I'm a shame-free crafter. I hate craft shamers. I hate it when people say you're doing it the wrong way. And especially, it's not so bad in like diamond painting, and even, crochet is not so bad either with the craft shaming. But I have found that in the cross-stitching community, a lot of those people can be really shamey with their you're not doing it right kind of things. And I hate that. I hate it. Oh, thank you, Tammy. It is pretty. I love all the colors too, Irene. You know what, Tammy? It's interesting that you say that about afraid to try a different company outside of DAC. When I first got into diamond painting and I was trying all the different companies, and I tried Dreamer Designs, and I didn't care for it, for them. I didn't care for their canvases. I didn't care for their symbols. I didn't care for their designs, really, many of them. And then they made a change about, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, but don't quote me on that. They've changed their canvas. They've changed their glue. They've changed their symbols. And they are now my favorite diamond painting company. Now, I will say that sometimes their renderings leave a bit to be desired. So I'm very careful with what I choose from them. Sometimes if I look at the renderings and they're not, sometimes DAC does kind of beat them in that aspect. But the glue is so much stickier on Dreamer Designs. It's thick, sticky glue. Their cover papers are really nice, thick plastic. I'm in love with Dreamer Designs. So in fact, I was giving a thought to doing a video kind of comparing and talking about the differences and similarities between the two, and why it's my favorite now. Sherry's here. Hi, Sherry. And Dawn. Hi, Dawn. And Anita. Hello. Dinner. Irene's got to go watch dinner. All right. Bye, Irene. So she was probably already gone by the time I said hello to her. Oh, well, she'll catch it on the replay, hopefully. Beck's Diamond Painting Down Under. Would love to get back into diamond painting, but my eyes won't allow. Too much going on with losses and cancer diagnosis. We need to be strong to help my other half fight this horrible disease. Beck, I'm with you. I am so sorry that you're going through that. It is a terrible, 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 terrible thing. Boy, you're going to bring a tear to my eye. this is not something that I really thought that I was going to share. But I'm actually going through that myself. I recently received colon cancer diagnosis. So I have surgery scheduled for next month. And luckily, it was caught in time that they're going to be able to resect the section of my colon that's affected. And it's very, very, very early stages. So, things are looking good. But, my heart goes out to you. I know Jeff is just in a, we had some it was a real eye-opening moment, to say the least, definitely. What did I mean say? Oh, you lost your sister? Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that, Irene. That's terrible. Hi, Karen. How are you? And V is here. Hello, V. Thank you, Jody. Thanks so much. Yes, thanks. Yeah, exactly, Karen. It's scary just because it's that big C word, you know what I mean? But for me at least, and I can't speak, for, other people who have things much worse off than, than where I'm at. But for me at least, it's a very, very early diagnosis. And, we've been given the impression that there's not really, it's going to get taken care of and there's not much to worry about. All it means is that I'm going to have colonoscopies far more frequently than the average person going forward, which, as everybody knows, are not a fun thing to have to go through. I just had, obviously I just had one recently, and I had a different prep kit this last time than what I've had in the past, and it was worse. It was way worse. I don't know what they were doing to me. So I picked up my prep kit for my surgery, my upcoming surgery. I picked that up, and I noticed that the prep kit they gave me for my surgery is back to the old kind of prep kit that I'm used to. So I'm thankful for that, because that one they gave me last time, wow, it was a zinger, man. It had me, whew. It was, and then, oh my gosh, don't you hate it when like the most embarrassing things happen like at the most inopportune times? So I'm going to my colonoscopy appointment, and I get to the hospital, and I check in and everything, and the lady behind the desk at the hospital, or at the procedure area, I'm trying to, there we go, we can get that in a better frame there. The lady behind the desk in the procedure area calls me back to do my insurance paperwork, and I recognize her from high school of all places. And of course I look a mess because I'm not wearing any makeup and I've just been up all night. It was weird because my appointment was in the afternoon, so rather than doing your prep kit like the day before, I had to do part of it the morning of, like the second half of the prep kit I had to do the morning of. And so I'm looking like 9 miles of bad road and feeling like 9 miles of bad road. And I get there, and there's this perky little chick that I went to high school with. And we're the same age, but she looks about 15 years younger than me. And she's gorgeous and beautiful, and not a gray hair on her head, not a wrinkle on her face, not a bag under her eye, nothing. She just looked awesome. And I looked at Jeff, and I'm like, what? How does that happen? How do some people get so lucky? You know what I mean? I feel like I've aged. Oof, I have aged. But anyway, so we're in the process. So she knows why I'm there, obviously, because she's checking me in and doing my insurance information. And so right in the middle of doing all that information, I was like, I puckered. You know what I mean? I puckered right up. I'm like, you're going to have to excuse me for a second. I'll be right back. And I had to take off to the bathroom. I was so embarrassed. Left my husband there with her, And of course, in high school, she was one of the cool girls, you know, one of the beautiful ones. Oh, that's funny. Funny, funny, funny. Mm. Oh, Beck, I am so sorry to hear that. Wow. Oh my goodness, it sounds like you are going through it, girl. I am so sorry to hear that. Botox and hair dye. That's right, Jody. Botox and hair dye. Yes, definitely. My heart goes out to you. Oh, thanks, Dawn. You're a sweetheart. You're a sweet fart. You're such a sweet fart. Okay, so let's talk about my week. So I worked on this diamond painting, like I said, the rest of last weekend, and then I diamond painted during the evenings during the week. And then I also cross stitched a lot this week. I didn't hardly crochet at all. Now, last week I showed you a bunch of stuff that I had crocheted during the previous week. This week, I don't think I crocheted anything. But I did cross stitch. So I want to show you real quick my cross stitch progress, things that I worked on for the week. Just 2 projects. It won't take but a second. So the first one is this Autumn Lane Stitchery, and this is so me. Moon's out, broom's out. So cute. I know it's way off season or whatever, you know, I mean, but it's definitely a Halloween kit, but I love it anyway, and I wanted to work on it. So I got quite a bit finished. I did all the letters this week. So I got these letters are just outlined, but I filled in, you know, those letters that you see. So that was some pretty good progress there. And then the other one that I worked on quite a bit is this one that I'm making for my mother-in-law. And I started this one quite a while ago. It is called Enya by Sampler Cove. And I'll take this out of the plastic so you can actually see the picture of it. But this is what it's going to look like. And it's just absolutely, I just think that's so beautiful. And, I've got it all on my hoop, but I did all of the, anything that's not yellow. So all of the red colors is what I worked on this week, which does not look like a lot, I realize, but this is 36 count linen. And so the holes are extremely small. And I mean, you only use 1 strand of the floss in there. Like, I don't know how close I can get this, if you can see how small those X's are, but they're teeny. So it does take a little bit to work on it. And I love that one because I'm using silk floss, and I just love working with silk floss. It's so nice. It's so pretty. Let's see. I'll show you what they look like on the hanks because they really are pretty. They're hand-dyed silks. And I love the colors. The colors are so Angie. So I've got that beautiful gold color. And then this gorgeous, like brown and red and green color. What is it called? Red clay, it's called. But I'm loving that project. And like I said, I've been working on it for quite some time. But my mother-in-law's birthday's coming up, and I'd like to get it done for her birthday. I don't know what the chances are of that, but it'd be nice, right? So that's what I did this week in terms of crafting, which is still a lot of progress. I mean, considering once I tell you what else I did all week, that's a lot of progress. So I did a thing on Wednesday night, and I'm going to be doing this on Wednesday evenings every other week for the next 4 weeks. My husband bought me, for my birthday, knitting classes. So I'm going to be going to knitting classes. And I know that, you know, crocheters and knitters have a long held but often unspoken rivalry. And so I'm kind of crossing the party lines here, and by learning to knit, but I don't care. I'm an all-inclusive crafter, and I can be a crocheter and a knitter, you know, who cares? So it's so funny. So I'm going to a place called North Bay Fiber is the name of the shop that the classes are. And it's all the way in Pinconning, which you don't know where that is because you're not from Michigan. Well, maybe some of you are, but it takes me by GPS. It says it takes me 48 minutes to get to this yarn shop. So 48-minute drive to go to an hour and a half knitting class. Now it's only 4 times, like I said. So that's not, you know, no big deal. As long as the winter weather cooperates, it shouldn't be bad at all. But there's 5 of us ladies in the class. Wednesday was my first class. 5 of us ladies in the class, and one of them was a knitter. She learned how to knit when she was a child from her mother or grandmother, but hasn't done it, you know, since she's been an adult, and she just retired. So, you know, she's probably 60, maybe close to 60. I don't want to guess her age. I mean, she doesn't know I have a channel or anything, but still, you don't ever like to guess a lady's age. But, you know, retirement age is how old she is. And then the other ladies are probably about my age. And none of the other ladies had any experience at all with knitting. Now, I don't technically have any experience with knitting. I have gone on YouTube videos and tried to learn how to knit. And I've talked to Jody, and you know, I've tried to knit, but it's been pretty unsuccessful so far. So I had thought that if I had an in-person instructor, that maybe it would be a little bit easier for me. I find that sometimes if I can have someone who I can ask questions to, even if it's just for that confirmation that I'm doing something right or wrong, you know what I mean? Just somebody to look at it and say, yes, that, you know, you're doing it the right way, or no, you're supposed to wrap your yarn this other way. So I just like to have that one-on-one reassurance. So I was thinking going in as a crocheter that I might have a little bit of an advantage because, you know, I mean, I know yarn and I know how to handle yarn and, you know, all that stuff. And because I had dabbled with trying to, you know, knit a little bit on my own. Yeah, no, that was not the case. I was a complete fumble fingers at first, complete fumble fingers. But I'm happy to say that I very, very quickly got the knack of it. And oh shoot, I didn't bring my project bag in here. I could show you what I've gotten done so far, but I left it out in the front room. And so I very quickly got the knack of it, and I think I have perfected my knit stitch. That's all we learned was the knit stitch this week. Next time when we go, we'll learn the purl stitch. So it was so funny though, because this one lady, she was just very excited to learn, but she was a fumble fingers. It was as if she had toes for fingers. Like she just had no dextile coordination. I felt terrible for her. Everybody else in the group was ready to move on to actually learning the stitch. And she was still trying to learn how to cast on. And we already had all of our stitches cast on and we were ready to go. So I felt bad because she just wasn't getting it. Just wasn't. I mean, we spent forever trying to get her to learn how to do a slip knot. So but it was fun, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it. So that was my evening. Okay, let me catch up on comments. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Thank you. They are pretty. Dip in time. Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda's here. Long time no see. Nice to see you. And Deborah. Oh, thanks, Deborah. You like my camera setup? Yeah, I'm trying something new. I'm trying to be a little bit more, you know, technologically up to speed, I guess. This is my first foray into that. No, we're doing English, Jody, which is interesting. So apparently in knitting, there's two ways to do it. You can do it. There's two styles, I guess, is from what I understand. You can do continental knitting or English knitting. Now, because I am a crocheter, and when Jody and I had talked about it before, and from other things that I had read and seen on YouTube, if you're a crocheter, normally you would be, it would be easier for you to make a conversion to knitting if you did it in the continental knitting fashion. Well, so that's what I had been always trying to learn, was continental knitting. Well, this class is being taught English knitting. And I wonder if that's not why I'm catching on so much better, because something is just clicking this time that has never really clicked before. So maybe I needed to be doing English knitting this whole time. And I learned how to do, unless anybody else in here is a knitter, I finally learned how to do a long tail cast on. I could never get the long tail cast on. I was always just doing the simple cast on. And I didn't realize that there's reasons to do a long tail cast on other than that it's just harder. All right, so enough about knitting. So let's get into the big important things that happened this week. Now, if you've been around for a while, and most of you guys that are here have, I had a nightmare of a craft room. I think that I showed my beast of a craft room on multiple occasions, just to maybe embarrass myself into action, to do something to take care of the situation. That didn't work, because even though I embarrassed myself, I still continued to have a horribly messy, it was beyond messy. It was chaos, complete and utter chaos. Anybody who has ever seen it in person can attest to that. Marissa's been here, she's seen it. Mindy's been here, she's seen it. They will tell you that it is a beast, an absolute beast. And I've been talking about how I'm going to reorganize my craft room. And I've been talking about it for about the past 1.5 to 2 years. Well, this week, that finally came to fruition, you guys. I did it. Joe, if you're out there, I am organizing my craft room. I'm in my craft room right now, believe it or not. And like, look behind me. Like, you can see floor. There's nothing. Well, there's a cord down there, but you can see floor. There's nothing on the floor. It's empty. My craft room is empty. But there's a big but, and it's not the one I'm sitting on. I mean, that's a big but too. But there's another big but. Now, Jeff told me that he didn't want me talking about this. Jeff doesn't like it when I share my life online or whatever. He's a very, very personal guy, private guy, I guess. But everybody's been wondering about my craft room, so I have to share something. So my thought was that I was going to empty out the craft room, organize everything into craft type, and redesign my shelves, my yarn shelves over there. You can see there's no more yarn on them. It's just got some stuff that I still have to put away, a couple Lego kits and a stool and a box of paperwork and my big industrial size blocking board and some empty project bags. But I've still got to take care of, I've got a little bit of stuff left to take care of in here. So, but my idea was I was going to reorganize everything and get some additional storage, additional shelving, and then bring it back in an organized fashion and in a way that I'll be able to work in here. Because I do want to start quilting. I want to get my sewing machine set up so that I can easily access it and be able to work at that as well. So I got everything cleaned out. Well, as I was starting to get everything cleaned out of this room, it became apparent to me that I had a little bit of an issue in this room. And what started as an issue in this room became an issue for our entire house. We have some foundation problems. Yeah. some big, 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 ugly foundation problems. We had an addition put on this house off of this wall, and some things were not done correctly, and now my floor is going like this in my craft room, and I could never notice it before because I had so much junk piled there. And it wasn't heavy stuff. It's not like it was heavy stuff that was weighing it down. It's floor joist problems. It's construction related problems. So now the plan is my craft room has to get completely emptied out, which it, like I said, it almost pretty much is. But now Jeff has to, he's got to completely tear out the floor, get down in the crawl space. We live in a 100-year floodplain, so we're not allowed to have basements here. So we have a crawl space, get down in the crawl space and rebuild the, I don't know, floor joist, face plate, blah, 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 blah. Construction language, insert construction language that I don't know here. Anyways, he's just sick to death about it because it's going to be a ginormous project. I am so thankful that I have a husband that possesses the technical knowledge of how to do that ourselves, because he said that if we had to hire a builder to come and do it, it'd probably be around $30,000. So he's going to try to do it himself. And apparently the problem spans, I guess when they built the house, you're supposed to have a support every so many inches, and instead they only did it, they spanned things further than they were supposed to have spanned things, is what Jeff discovered when he went down to look in the crawl space. And so he's going to do it for the entire, our house goes long ways. It's a ranch style house that goes long ways. So he's going to insert more support beams or whatever for the entire length of the house. But he's going to access the crawl space from the floor in this room because it's too cold right now to leave the crawl space door open. He's afraid our pipes will freeze. So he's going to enter and exit the crawl space from a hole that he's going to make in this room. So it's going to be, estimates that it's going to be about 2 months, because he works full time too. It's going to be about 2 months before I can get back into this room. So, but one good thing is that right now this room is carpeted, and I was thinking that it might be nice, and I do have a nice big area rug in here as well. But I was thinking that it might be nice, since he's got to rip out the carpet anyway, and it's older carpet. We put it in when we bought the house, but that was 23 years ago. I was thinking that it might be nice to put in like a wood floor in this room, just like a laminate wood floor, not like a fancy schmancy, we don't got it like that. We're not hoity-toities, but yeah. Yeah, Joe, I know. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I know, Deborah, it's just such a kick in the teeth because I've been wanting this forever. And I finally, it was within my grasp, I was so close. It was within my grasp, and it was going to be beautiful and perfect. And I was so excited about it. And then boom, punch in the gut. No. It can't be that easy. We got to throw another monkey wrench in your mix. So that's what happened there. And then, today, that we discovered that during the week, this week, when I started emptying the room out, because I started bright and early on Monday morning. So we discovered it early in the week. So Jeff had to work all week. He took Monday Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so he has the day off. And he took Tuesday off in planning to, just gung-ho right away this morning, get at it and get working. And it ended up that I ended up having to go on a little road trip with Nate today, and Jeff ended up getting called into work on a water main break. So he's been at work all day, and he anticipates that he'll be at work all, well into the night. I should check. Hey, could somebody check the Lions game for me and tell me what the score is? I would appreciate that if anybody could do that. Because, and poor Jeff, I feel so bad for Jeff because I don't know that, okay, the Lions have been an extremely poor performing football team for many, 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 many years. But my husband has remained a diehard Lions fan. My husband was a Lions fan when the Lions lost for 20 seasons straight. He was still watched every game. I think he even took one of the girls to a game once. Just a big time Lions fan, even when they were bad. Well, now the Lions are doing well. They're doing really good. Washington 10, Lions 7. No. Where are they at? Where are they at in the game? Anywho, so now that the Lions are doing good, Jeff's got his, I don't know how to exactly describe it. I mean, it's like he's glad that the Lions are doing well, but in a way, he's a little bit pissy because he thinks that like people are being fair weather fans now, because all these people that used to be shitty about the Lions being a sucky team, now they're all, big Lions fans. And I think that's kind of funny, but he's kind of salty about it. He's a little salty about that they're being fair weather fans. But he was so looking forward to the game that's on tonight. He was all geared up. He had his whole weekend planned around this game tonight, that he wanted to watch this game, and his whole weekend was planned around it. And then he got called into work. Of course. It always happens to him. It seems like for him, if there's something that, going on, he's always going to get called into work. And with our weather getting colder the way it's forecasted to, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of water main breaks coming up, and he's going to be getting some OT. But that's fine because, with the construction project we've got coming, that'll be nice to get that overtime. That'll help pay for that construction project. 9 minutes left in the second. Ugh, second quarter. That's not good. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you? I love to say that. I just love it when it rhymes. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you? So anyways, Nate today. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. I want to ask you guys' opinion on this. Nate is 16. He got his driver's license on October 1st. He's been driving every day since. He drives himself to school, he drives himself to band, he drives himself to friends, wherever he needs to go. He had a friend who was going to be performing, a friend that's in a band. She plays guitar and sings in a band, and they were going to be performing at a little concert venue in Westland, Michigan today at 1:00 this afternoon. All right. So we're not talking about a bar. We're not talking about nighttime. We're talking about a Saturday afternoon, and it's a concert, venue. And this friend is 15 years old. So it's not like he's going to hang out with, 25-year-olds or something. But he had asked me if he could go to this friend's show. And I had said yes. I mean, I didn't think that there was a problem with that. Well, so Nate gets up and gets ready this morning and is walking out the door, literally walking out the door. And Jeff says, well, where is this place? And Nate tells him it's in Westland. And Jeff blows a gasket. Now, Westland, from where we live, it's 81 miles. All right. Blows a gasket that I'm going to allow our 16-year-old son to drive 81 miles by himself. So my question to you is, was I wrong for telling Nate he could go? Am I wrong? I don't know. Yes, Joe, it's going to be extremely cold to work underneath the house. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be absolutely horrible. But it's got to be done. We can't wait. It's not something we can wait to do. Berta's here. Hi, Berta. Long time no see is right. I am back. So what do you guys think? Would you let him go or would you say hell no? And I'll tell you how we ended up resolving this conflict after I hear what you guys' parental opinions. Because I don't know, maybe I'm a terrible parent. I'm fully prepared to embrace the fact that maybe I make bad parental decisions. Plus, let's consider that he is a boy. I think that makes a little bit of a difference too. If he was a girl, I might feel a little bit differently about it, going by herself. But he's a boy, able-bodied, strong boy. He's very responsible. He's a good kid. He's got ample money if something were to happen and he needed to call a tow truck or something. I don't know. He's got a phone. What do you guys think? See, all right, Mary Lou, good call. Yeah, you're calling me out on that one. Yep, you're probably right. We didn't have bad weather, Karen. There was no bad weather today. It was fine. And I'll tell you how I know that is because I took him. Jody says, I don't know how your driver's license works, but here they have to have a new driver for a year. It has limitations. Yeah, no, he does have limitations, but his limitations are that for the first 6 months, he cannot have more than one passenger under the age of 18, and he has to be home by 10 o'clock. Those are his restrictions. There's no distance restrictions. But yes, Mary Lou is right. We should have talked about it. When Nate asked me, instead of just saying yes, I probably should have said, I have to talk to your dad. In my defense, and I don't know if this is even a defense, when Nate asked me if he could go, he didn't tell me where it was. And I didn't ask either. He just said, can I go to my friend's concert tomorrow? And I assumed, and that's my fault, I assumed that it was going to be someplace relatively close to where we live, because I guess I wouldn't have thought that he would have wanted to drive, an hour and a half by himself. But, whatever. It rained, then it froze. Huh. It didn't rain and freeze when we were down there. Because I ended up going with him. We went, we left the house at about 11. Got there about, 11:30 we must have left, because we got there about 10 to 1. And we were down there. We got home at 5. So we, maybe we got out of there before the weather got bad, but it was dry, clear sailing for us. But anyway, so that's how we ended up resolving it, was that I agreed to go with him. I dropped him off at the concert place, and then I went to Panera Bread and had some soup and worked on my cross stitching. And then of course, stupidly, I went to Michael. Okay, so here's the thing. Right down by there is Livonia, and Livonia is where Michigan Fine Yarns is, which is a very, very wonderful Michigan yarn store. And I was like, oh, Angie, don't do it. Do not go to the yarn store, because I have about 12 contractor bags full of yarn that are now in the spare bedroom on that bed that came off of my yarn shelves right there. And that doesn't include yarn that has already been allocated for projects, because that's all in a different spot. Yarn for projects that are in process. So I was like, Angie, you don't need any more yarn. Do not go to the yarn store. Okay, so I didn't. So I went to Panera Bread, and I was working on my cross stitch for a while, but then my phone was about to die. So I was like, well, I need to be in my car for a little while so I can charge my phone up, so that Nate can contact me when he's ready to get picked up. So I went in the car, and in the same little plaza where I was a Michael's. And I thought, well, I can go just browse around Michael's for a few minutes and, see what's going on. So wouldn't you know it, I did come out of Michael's with 4 balls of yarn. They had the Karen's skinny cakes on clearance for $7. I couldn't pass up clearance yarn. Come on. So I did get some clearance yarn. What else did I get? I got some cross stitch fabric, and a candle. That's all, because it was a Christmas scented candle for 80% off. I'm a sucker for a deal. But anyway, so then I picked Nate up, and it's weird because up here where we live, up in the nowhere land, we don't have a lot of the businesses that places downstate have. We don't fast food. We don't have a Chick-fil-A. There's a lot of things that we just don't have. We don't have a Noodles & Company. We don't have a Crumble. There's just a lot of things that we don't have. So after I picked him up, he was ravenously hungry. And so we, of course, went to Noodles & Company and had, kind of a lunch / supper. And then who here has had a crumble cookie? Show of hands. Who has had a crumble? And it's spelled Crumbl, which is weird. Rained, then it froze. Yeah, Dawn said, yeah, okay. All right, so it looks like the consensus is I should have talked to my husband first. And so that's what I will do going forward. Oh, lines are up. Thank you, Karen. Woohoo! Lions up 17. Oh, no, Deborah. Uh-oh. They... Oh, Mindy, you have had crumble? Mary Lou's never heard of crumble. So I've always wanted a crumble cookie, but we don't live anywhere that has crumble cookies. So we took advantage, and after we went to Noodles & Company and had lunch, we went and got crumble cookies. So I just want to show you guys my crumble cookies because I'm that excited about it. So first of all, they come in this very, very nice box. Second of all, you're not going to believe how much it costs for one freaking cookie. I feel like I'm like Country Mouse in the big city here telling you about this. That I'm so excited about the Noodles & Company and the crumble cookies. One cookie is about $5. $5 for one cookie. But wait till you see them. Okay, so these are the cookies that we got. Oops, I ate part of one. So this is the big pink cookie that is their like signature cookie. And it's big and pink with frosting. And then this was a vanilla cupcake cookie that I've eaten half of. But this icing on here is absolutely delicious. So good. And then Nate got this peanut butter brownie cookie. But when we got them, they were warm still. And then Nate also got a chocolate chip cookie that he ate on the way home. So delicious. So delicious. So yes, this is $16 worth of cookies right here. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yes, they're good and they're pretty and yum, 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 yum. Yes, the cookies are the size of your head. The cookies are very, very big. They're big, yummy cookies. But they have two sizes. You can get large cookies or mini cookies. We, of course, got the large cookies. And I have to say, even though I make a mean chocolate chip cookie, like everybody in the family loves my chocolate chip cookies. And I think I've talked about them before because my recipe is from my grandpa who had a bakery. So I do make delicious chocolate chip cookies, but I have to say that cookie that Nate had today, the chocolate chip, was the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever had. It was yum, delicious. And the Noodles and Company was really good too. I got garlic, creamy garlic. Why can't I think of the type of pasta? It's the type of tortellini, creamy garlic tortellini. And that was really good. But Nate got steak stroganoff. It wasn't beef stroganoff. It was steak stroganoff, and he loved it. He said it was very, very good. And then, of course, they have the ginormous Rice Krispie treats for dessert at Noodles and Company. So we got some of those to bring home for later. Now, we've had Noodles and Company before because Nate's cousin, Trevor, and my nephew, I guess, I don't know why I said it that way, works at Noodles and Company down in Nashville. So we know about it, but we just don't have one. Apparently, we're supposed to be getting a Chick-fil-A, not in my town, but in the neighboring town, close, about a half hour away. And believe me, I will drive for Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is stinking delicious. And it's the sauce. I love the Chick-fil-A sauce. Although I hate that they're closed on Sundays. Yes, exactly, Mindy. You see, I have been eating on it all afternoon. Ever since we got it, I've been eating on that vanilla one. So yummy. So yummy. And I did a thing. I do this to Nate just to aggravate him. When we're in public, I will strike up conversations with strangers. So I struck up a conversation with the lady that was standing there waiting for her cookies. And we stood there and talked for a good 10 minutes while we waited for our cookies. And I could see the look on Nate's face. It was just pissing him right off. And the whole time I was chuckling to myself because the sole reason I was talking to this lady was to annoy Nate. Funny what you do to your kids to embarrass them. It was fun though. It was a good day. It was overall, it wasn't what I planned on doing today. What I planned on doing today is my Michigan Cross Stitchers Club. Our Saginaw group meets on this Saturday every month for a Stitchy group. We have a little Stitchy group that meets. And that was today. And I missed it because I went with Nate instead. But it was nice. I had a nice day. I had a real nice day. Yeah, it was supposed to snow here, actually. That was the forecast. Yesterday it was supposed to be snow because I was going to have to drive my Mustang to the Stitchy group because Jeff's on call and Nate, we thought he was going on his own today before we knew where it was. And so I was going to have to drive the Mustang. And we were like, well, if it snows, I guess I won't be able to go because I will not drive my Mustang in the snow. I don't know. Did I even tell you guys? I don't think I even told I posted pictures of it on Facebook, but if you're not friends with me on Facebook, then you don't know. Before Nate got his license, what we ended up doing is we gave Nate the Trailblazer, which is what Jeff had been driving for work. And then Jeff's driving the Equinox, which is the car that I've been driving. And then because I don't drive very often, we decided that I would get a fun car that gets parked in the winter. So I got a 2006 Mustang convertible. 5-speed, leather seats, GT. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous car. It's a V8. It's fast, loud, it's fun, but it is not good in the snow because it's rear wheel drive. So it's been in the garage since the first part of October. I've gotten it out and driven it a couple of times, when we've had transportation issues, but never in bad weather. But I don't, I leave the house so infrequently that it really has not posed a issue yet, to where we had, transportation problems. Now, Mindy and I are supposed to meet and go to lunch. I think we were talking about going this next week. Now, Jeff has taken some time off, so I will be able to take the Equinox, so that'll work out. But if weather were going to be bad, that might have become an issue. If we were going to have bad roads, if I'm supposed to go meet for lunch somewhere, I'd have to take the weather forecast into accountability, or take that factor under advisement. But we'll see. We got to get together and talk about that. I know I had told her that I needed to get through this week first with getting that craft room cleaned out, because I had help for it. And my friends Jennifer and Sarah, her daughter Sarah, came over and helped me every day except, well, no, they didn't come Monday. They came Tuesday. So they came Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. We took Thursday off. But so that is what is going on in my life. What's the where are we with the score? Can I get a score update? Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, Mary Lou, I'm a hot rod mama. Woo woo. I'll have to show you some. I got my phone and my iPad are devicing right now, so I can't show you a picture, but I'll get a picture for you next time. Next time I'm on, I will. I'll show you guys a picture of the Mustang. It's beautiful. It's silver. See, I used to have back in 2002, I bought a brand new Mustang convertible, and it was red. So this time, I'm getting a little bit older, and I didn't want to be like so obvious that I'm having a midlife crisis, even though that's exactly what this is. By purchasing the car is a midlife crisis. I didn't want it to be quite so obvious. So I decided not to get a red one. And so this one is silver. It's a real nice silver color, but it's a stick shift. I don't know if I mentioned that. You got to have, if you're going to have a sporty type car, you got to have a stick shift. But I can't wait to get it out. I did manage to drive it with the top down a few times this summer before fall came. We got it the end. It was like, I think July 25th or 27th or something is the day we went down to get it. We bought it from Ohio, from an older couple in Ohio that only drove it occasionally, kept it in the garage in the winters. In fact, they had owned it for 7 years and had only put 4,000 miles on it in 7 years. So that's pretty good. It doesn't have bad miles. Like I said, it's a 2006 and it has 113,000 miles on it. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's not show car quality by any means, but I didn't want anything that was show car quality because I want to be able to drive it and enjoy it, So, plus I didn't have that kind of money. I did not have show car quality money, that's for sure. But, all right, let's get an update on that game. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Oh, okay. Bye, Michelle. I'll talk to you soon. 24. I don't like those. I don't like that score. Ugh, poor Jeff. Poor Jeff. I assume I can remember. I mean, this has been forever ago, but they used to play the football games on the radio. So at work, do you think he's been able to listen to it on the radio in his truck? so he can at least hear the game if he can't watch it. I feel so bad for him. He was really looking forward to it. Oh my gosh. Okay, one quick little story and then we'll go. So I was at Panera Bread and I was sitting there minding my own business, eating my soup. And there was a table of 6 people. It seemed like a mom, a grandma, and then 3 daughters and one of the daughters' boyfriends or husbands. The daughters were adults. You know, they were in their probably early 20s. And they were all decked out in their Lions gear. And it became pretty apparent that they were going to the game. They were getting ready to go head to the game. Well, the grandma started talking about the tickets. Now, apparently she bought 4 of the tickets, and then the other couple had bought their own tickets. But grandma had paid for 4 of the tickets, but she just paid for them. She got online and ordered them and paid for them. And each of the people, they had each given her $200 towards the tickets because that's how much grandma told them that the tickets were. So grandma apparently missed some vital information when she was making this online ticket purchase, and where she thought that they were actually $785 each, these tickets. I don't know if I don't remember how, I don't remember the exact, I wasn't paying that close of attention, but I know that they had each given her $200 towards the tickets. And she was like, but I don't know. I didn't realize that's how much they were going to be. I don't know why they were that much. I thought they were 200. I didn't even notice that it said that. Well, oh well, grandpa might be mad, but I guess we'll just pay the bill when it comes. And can you imagine paying that much money to go see a football game? And maybe if you're a diehard sports fan and it's playoffs, maybe you can imagine spending that much money. But there is no way. So I texted Jeff and I was like, Jeff, these people I'm sitting by paid $785 for their Lions tickets today. And he's like, wow, must be nice. And I'm like, what do you mean it must be nice? I don't care. If I had all the money in the world, there is no way that I would spend that kind of money on a football ticket. I just wouldn't. Would you? If money were no object, would you spend $800 on a ticket to a football game? Just a question. I'm just throwing it out there. How many would? And then we'll get going because I want to know if I'm crazy or if you guys are crazy. I want to know who's crazy about in this room. And I think we all know that I'm the crazy one here. All right. Anyways. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out with me on a Saturday night when my husband's not home and Nate's in his room doing his gaming. Not that they would be hanging out with me anyways, but, you know, thanks for hanging out with me, I guess. Irregardless. I hate it when people say that. Irregardless. There's no irregardless. But I love you all. Thank you. Oh, Mary Lou, you would pay it to go see the Chiefs? Yeah, you are nuts. Yeah, well, or I'm nuts. Maybe I'm just nuts. But Dawn says no. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to get going, you guys. I got to go potty and all that other good stuff. So thanks a lot, everybody. And I will see you not next week because next week is my actual birthday and we will be going out. But the reason I didn't get a video out this past week was because of this whole craft room dilemma. But hopefully I will be able to record one this week coming out and get a video out. So I have some things to talk about. So, okay, I love you guys. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me. Later.